Oh, hi. I'm just listening to an album that I found the other day. I thought I'd show you some of the records I found the other day. Right now I'm playing a record with Ethel Waters. It's a compilation disc on Columbia, but this is, as you see, it's been pasted over with a CBS label that they did with American records that they brought to Sweden. So, because Columbia in Sweden and many other European countries is a brand owned by EMI, so they couldn't use it here. So that's why they used the CBS label instead. Never mind. I think I'm going to hush Ethel Waters down a bit there. That's better. So that you can hear what I have to say here. Even though Ethel's singing might be more interesting. First of all, I went to two different stores. First, a record store that I've been to several times and that I know sell good records. Then, just by accident, I went into a local charity shop that I've never seen before, because I hadn't really been in that part of Stockholm before. And I made some interesting jazz findings there, and this is one of them. Seeing it now, if I can make this focus right. This is one record that I bought. It's a compilation disc with American jazz recordings released on the Odeon Swing Music Series in Germany during the 1930s mainly, late 30s. You got the Chocolate Dandies here, you got Miff Mole's Molars, Eddie Lang's Orchestra, Louis Armstrong, Mamie Smith and other American jazz legends. It shows that jazz music wasn't at all forbidden in Nazi Germany. It was forbidden during Second World War, but not during the 1930s, as some people have thought. Okay. I found two compilation discs with King Oliver. This is one of them, and it's on the famous RCA black and white series. Bit worn cover, but nothing wrong with the record. French RCA. King Oliver Volume 2, 1929 to 1930. Then another King Oliver compilation disc, a bit later, from 1989, on the Bluebird BMG RCA label, but we use the old Bluebird label here. Nice recordings and a very, very nice sleeve. Found a jazz album with clarinet player Pee Wee Russell. Definite Pee Wee Russell. I think it's a French album, but it's on a label called America Records. It sounds a bit budget, but I haven't listened to it yet, but I will do later. Then we have a fairly rare record here with Lucky Millinder and his orchestra, recordings from 1941 to 1943. I don't know that much about Lucky Millinder, so I thought this would be interesting to listen to and maybe find out a bit more about him. Then I found on the Everest Records archive of folk and jazz music, a bit ratty sleeve, but the record looked nice. Muggsy Spanier. I've got several records with Muggsy Spanier. He was very good at Dixieland music. But we got something here. I don't know if you can see it here. Something that we do not like. Let's see if I can make. This thing focus here. Stereo. Electrically re-recorded to simulate stereo. Well, we don't like that, do we? But never mind. finally, French album, Jacques Loussier Trio, Playback Volume 3. Not in the best of condition, but I like Jacques Loussier. I've got this record on CD before, but nice to have on vinyl. Okay, then let's move over to the records I found at the ordinary record store. First of all, I found some different singles. First, 3 with Elvis Presley. These are reissues from the probably from the late 80s of the Gold Standard series, but it's American releases anyway, which makes it a bit more interesting. Here we got Kentucky Rain and My Little Friend. Always on My Mind and Separate Ways. And here Rubbernecking and Don't Cry Daddy. Here they put the reissue single record here in a sleeve that's from the early 70s, and RCA company sleeve, which is quite neat. Then I have 3 Beatles singles here, and I'm quite sure they are reissues too, because they look a bit too good, especially since they didn't cost that much. They were quite cheap, but they sound very good. Play them, listen to them. Hello Goodbye, I Am the Walrus. Neither of them are my favorites, but nice to have anyway. She's a Woman, that's one that I like a bit more. And I Feel Fine, that's 2 on the Parlophone label. And then on the Apple label, Let It Be, and You Know My Name. Then I'm going to show you this. Ooh, you say, he's found a 78 RPM Vogue picture record of the kind that were only produced during 1946-47 sometime. But it isn't. It's a reissue on vinyl, and you play it at 45 RPM, and it's recently been produced and released by the German Bear Family Records. But it was very cheap, and it looks beautiful, and sounds okay too, so I couldn't resist it. It was very cheap. But then over to something that isn't a reissue, and it's quite old and quite rare, I would believe. It's on the Folkways Records. It's a 10-inch album. Folk Tales from West Africa, told by Harold Corlander, from 1951. This might be a later pressing from around 1959, but who cares? I'm quite interested in old folk tales from different cultures, and also I collect these kinds of quite weird, rare records, so I couldn't resist it. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will later. It's got that lovely Folkways label, as you can see. Okay, what next? I can show you 2 more. I've got a thing for these Melodia Russian late Soviet releases with pop music from the westward. I bought quite a number of them during the years, and including some Russian versions or Melodia issues of famous pop and rock records. And here I got a record with early recordings from one of my childhood favorites, as you can see, Elton John. Honky Cat. And the style, the album design was more or less the same for all these. I got 2 with Rolling Stones, I got one with Elvis Presley, and I think I got a couple of others too that I can't remember right now. But still, there's nothing wrong with these pressings. It's very good compilation discs for the Russian Soviet market. just after the perestroika had its big breakthrough. So, and I listened to it. It sounds great, and I love early Elton John. He was so great now, and I grew up with him. My mother used to play a compilation album with Elton John to make me fall asleep in the evening. So he has and it wasn't from boredom. It was from feeling good. Okay, final record I'm going to show you here is Quiet Scars LP with the Swedish dancing orchestra Magnus-Quintet with the vocalist Lars Waldefelt. They were quite big in the mid-60s and had a couple of hit records. This LP is a bit more difficult to get hold of. I haven't found it until today, and it's from around 1965-66, released on Philips. And one reason why I want to show you this is because these guys, this group was disbanded many years ago, but they have reformed. All the old guys, well, not the guitar playing Bernd Gustafsson, because he passed away, alas, a couple of years ago. But I think it's the original gang that has started playing together, and even I've heard small whispers about they actually doing another record, like 45 years later. I think that's so great. Well done, old guys. Okay, that's everything I have to show today. I hope you found it a bit interesting, and well, have a nice evening. Bye.